Hey, today I'm going to show you guys how to change out your steering wheel and put on a quick release. Here's the thing. A couple months ago, like it's about 6 months ago, I bought a really cheap eBay steering wheel. I bought it on eBay for $100. The steering wheel was probably like $30. The quick release was probably $30, and the hub was probably $10. It just added up for $100. And then like I kind of lied to myself, thought everything was gonna be okay. Like, oh, how bad could it be? And so I just bought the cheapest one because I needed a steering wheel. Here's the thing: if I were you and you want to change your steering wheel, I wouldn't change it if you don't need to change it. Like for me, I have to change it. I'll show you in a little bit why I have to change my steering wheel and then why I need a quick release in the first place. But if you don't need a quick release or a steering wheel, then I suggest you stick to the stock steering wheel because it looks good, because it looks factory stock, and it's the most sturdy and safe steering wheel. So keep it stock if you don't need an aftermarket steering wheel. But here's the thing, okay, so if you do change it, make sure it's not like a cheap one, like an eBay one like I got. Because the first week I had it, I was back on my driveway and the wheel popped off. It popped off and I landed in the passenger floor. So that was so dangerous. And ever like 5 months down, like after the first month of having the quick release, the eBay one, it was fine, it was sturdy. And after the first month, it got really wobbly. No matter how well I tried to put it on, it got really wobbly. Not only that, but the steering wheel, like the holes didn't even fit into the adapter. I had to drill my own holes because they were kind of tight. They were a little bit smaller than usual. They gave me a steering wheel and an adapter, and it didn't even fit. So I had to expand the holes on my steering wheel, which is so bad. I had it for 5 months. I was lying to myself that everything's gonna be okay. This isn't so bad. But like I realized that I was putting my life on the line, and the steering wheel popped off one time, and it got really wobbly ever since. I mean, it's so bad. So I went ahead and got a Energy quick release, Energy short hub, and Energy steering wheel. So that was a major upgrade from my eBay one. So I don't know, like you guys might have eBay ones, and you guys are probably saying, oh, it's okay, it's not bad. I had it for a year and it's fine. Well, yeah, I mean it's fine, but you might be lying to yourself because you can actually feel the cheap quality of the steering wheel. And it could be a little bit play. I mean, it will have more play than the top end steering wheels. So I'm gonna show you guys how to change it. I'm going to show you guys why I needed a quick release and why I bought a cheap one, because I needed one as soon as possible. You see this lever right here? I had to adjust the lever every single time I got in and out of my car, which was so many times. I had to move the steering wheel up and get in the car and move the steering wheel back down. And I kept adjusting it so much that I started to wear out a little bit, the adjuster. It wore out, and I figured that if it wore out too much, it would be super dangerous in the future. Because you might be driving and the steering wheel will go up and down. So I had to get a quick release. I mean, that's the reason why a quick release was invented in the first place, for drivers to get into and out of their cars when they have bucket seats and stuff. But yeah, let me show you how. I mean, right now it's actually not as bad as it is, because I usually sit a little bit closer to firmly press down on the clutch. But this is a little bit farther because I can barely squeeze through. But in reality, I sit a little bit closer, so this is actually better than what it usually really is. I try my best not to touch the bucket seats so I don't ruin it. It's expensive. I can barely fit in. Like that. When I get out, like I hate touching the bucket, the holsters, upholsters. Because I want to ruin these seats, it's really expensive. As you can see, the airbag's already taken out because I already had an old quick release, so I already did this before. But you're going to take the airbag out, there's instructions on the internet so you can find it. And then you're going to have to take out the nut that holds the wheel to the steering column. So you want a kind of extension to get clearance. I'm going to take it off. It's a lot easier, like the wheel moves, but it's a lot easier if you let the wheel click. Just like that, the factory click. The wheel lock, and then it's a lot easier to take it out now. Like that. Put back the key. Put the wheel back to how it was before. You want to make sure the wheel is straight. Straighten the wheel back out and continue loosening the nut. Usually this is the first time you take out the steering wheel, it's going to be really hard to take the wheel off. So you want to leave the nut in there and then pop it off so it doesn't hit your face or whatever, and then you take the wheel, then you take the nut off and then you can take the whole wheel off. Just for safety, but I think mine is loose because I've already taken this out recently. Take the nut out. Take the steering wheel out. You're gonna see a groove. My eBay one didn't have a groove on the back, so it's just flat. And so my turn signals, it didn't actually cancel when I made it after I made turns. So I had to go buy JB Weld and weld on a plastic pieces on my cheap eBay wheel hub. And after like 3 months, it broke off. So it was really hard. So yeah, the hub for the eBay one actually sucks too. So anyways. You can see that I customized my little horn contact clip right there. I used a paper clip and there's a black wire, you can't see it, but it's connected to the horn wires for the car. I don't know why people are complaining why it's so hard to get the horn to work on an aftermarket steering wheel, but it's so easy. There's tutorials on the internet or there's instructions on the internet, so just look for the right one for your car. But I use a paper clip and it works every time because it has to touch the back of the hub. And make sure this is really important too, make sure it's straight, because the grooves will slip right into these notches on the aftermarket hub. So yeah, just make sure you wire up the horn like so. And now you want to put the steering hub on. I have the short energy one. So make sure it's straight. Mine has a dot right here on the top of the hole, so it shows that should be facing up. And so the energy is also facing up too, so that will help a little bit. So make sure the dot is facing straight up. You want to get into the car and make it straight as possible. Straight as possible. Put the nut back on. I even made markings. I put a piece of tape right there on the steering column screw and made markings, switches up. But that's not going to help that much. You want to make sure this is really tight. So once again, you're going to lock the steering lock. See how it locks? This will help you make it tighter. So make sure it's really tight. Make sure it's really tight. Mine's super tight. Just don't strip it. Don't over tighten it, okay? Don't strip, that sucks. You can test your horn now by tapping these two together. Or you can just do this. Alright, after you put on the hub, mine's gonna be crooked because I used the steering lock of the car to tighten the screw. If I were you, I would do that. That was such a good idea. So who cares if it's crooked, because now you know it's straight from the initial position when you put it on. Now you're gonna put on the quick release. If you don't have a quick release, you can go ahead and put on a steering wheel, these 6 bolts. But if you're gonna put on a quick release, make sure you take this off because you can't screw it down when it's stuck like this. So you wanna take it off. Oops. Just pop it off, and then you're gonna screw it on. So there's a dot on top of mine right here. And the dot underneath the hole, you matched up with the old dot. So it's gonna be straight later. So mine will be like this. Just match up the dot from the old one. I'm gonna show you how to remove this safety button if you don't like it. There's a little Allen key right there. So you're gonna remove it with an Allen wrench. Just hold it so it doesn't pop out and screw it. So it comes straight off like this. It has a spring with it and a cap. So just take it off. You can remove this thing without pushing the safety button. A lot easier. The package came with screws. So it came with an Allen wrench. And then you have these screws right here. So you can screw it on in a star pattern, like your wheels. Just tuck in the wires, the horn wires. Plug in the wires. They should match with their connectors. Line up the line, so make sure you have the proper hole lined up. Star pattern. Don't tighten it all the way down yet. So let's put the screws in first. So like so we always do crisscross. Evenly tighten You can test the horn out by just tapping the two connectors together. But since I already have this installed, you can actually test it again by tapping the two terminals together. Tap those two together and make sure the horn works. Make sure you're tightening with the Allen wrench. Make sure it's really tight, but don't strip it. Just make sure it's really tight. After you bolted everything back on, you want to put this thing back in and turn the wheel back to upright position. You're gonna put this in. This is the ring that retains the horn button. Connect the horn in. Horn connector. Put this cap on. This is what it looks like when it's done. You can put the wheel on. You can test the horn. I'm waiting for my Honda button to come in because it looks a lot better than this. Because I want to keep it kind of factory-ish. So yeah, I'm not gonna keep this going. But yeah, everything works fine. The horn, it's not even that hard. Yeah, it's really easy to use. So it comes preloaded like this. Sticks right in. To remove the steering wheel, there's a button right here for safety. You push down the button while pulling back the ring, and it comes off just like that. If you remove your safety pin like I did, so you can just take it off like this instead. Just like that. And this is exactly why I need a quick release. Getting out is much easier. Before, like, the OEM steering wheel right here, the bucket, like it would squeeze my thighs really tightly, so it was really hard for me to get in and out, and I didn't want to ruin the seats at all, so I had to get quick release. So now you know exactly how to replace your steering wheel for an aftermarket one and install a quick release in a hub. So remember, don't cheap out on a steering wheel because it is very safe. Steering is a very big safety issue, so if you lose it, you can die. So don't cheap out like I did at first about the eBay one. So just get an energy one.